When I dial my baby's number, I get a click every time. Now I know you know that one.
I got that one. I thought you were wanting me to like jump in, and that is way out of my range.
You couldn't come in lower, even if I did. How,
Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line. When I dial my baby's number, I
listen here, Tony Braxton.
I was like, I hope she is not going to stop singing and then expect me to jump in, because I'm just going to listen. It will be dead space.
That was not the plan. No, I was, like you said, there's something I do to get the party started. That's all I'm trying to do. Because we on the phone, so it's a phone related song. Right. Hello? Did I lose you?
Hello?
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Did I lose you?
You did. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh my goodness.
I just couldn't hear you. I didn't do anything. I didn't try to open Candy Crush. I didn't do anything different. It just stopped. I couldn't hear a word you were saying, but I could see that we were still recording.
Okay. Me too. I don't even know. Still, we ain't gonna edit that out. It's raw and real and all uncut. We're gonna go with the flow. Keep it going.
As you would say, moving. It is what it is.
It ill what it ill. What's going on, buddy?
Not much at all.
No, listen, I heard that gulp. I heard, what was that gulp? Listen, don't try to hide that gulp, punk. What you sipping on?
It's one of these little simply spiked drinks in the can. So like, the Simply lemonades, this is a Simply peach one, but it's a Simply kiwi peach. That's it.
One of my faves. I actually had that variety pack one time. It was like they're all Simply peach, but it was like peach and kiwi, peach and was it strawberry?
Strawberry, and then just
those
the
are pretty good.
Just peach. It's not bad. Not bad.
Oh, that doesn't sound approving.
I think that it's probably better when it's summer and you're sitting by a pool and it's ice cold. You know what I mean? Right. And it the whole vibe that goes with it.
Okay, so it's giving you false hope.
It is, because
but wait, hold on. What? No, hold on. I take that back. Heifer, you in Florida? What's the temperature there?
It is not.
I'm waiting. Yeah, exactly. I'm up here trying to sympathize.
It's probably okay. I think it's probably about low 80s.
Yeah, I will punch you in the throat. But it's not. I mean, I get it. It's December, but
it's a little bit overcasty, so the sun is not out like it typically is, and so I feel like the sun makes all the difference in the world. It's still beautiful out. It's beautiful. You're absolutely right. It is beautiful out. It just isn't like, I don't feel summer vibes.
Oh my gosh, whatever. Well,
what's the temperature where you are?
Here in the Midwest, it's low 50s. And
that's not bad at all.
It really isn't. I don't know. What's it called? Why did I just draw a blank?
Summer?
No, global warming. It's too warm for December. However, I am drinking a seasonal themed drink to go with the fact that we are in December. So I have me a cup of spiked eggnog from my store Sam's. Yeah.
I love eggnog. Love it. But
I know you do.
There's a problem in my house with it, because the only people that drink it are myself and one of my daughters like it.
Uh-huh.
So that means I will consume, with a little bit of her help, the whole carton. I mean, I will pour myself just a little bit, and it's so nice and thick. So I'm like, I'm just going to pour me just a little bit, like a little small, like a little cup of it, because you can't like fill a big cup of it because it's so heavy.
Yes.
But when you fill that little small cup 10 times in a row, you might as well just went ahead and just like poured a big cup of it because
Right. Listen,
man, I don't know what it is about eggnog. I've loved it since I can remember. Love me
listen,
some
we try to
eggnog.
break it down into fractions. If I get 1/10 of a cup, however, if I get 10 of those 1/10,
It's
and it's true though, and that's my dilemma right now because I'm a texture person. So while I do like eggnog,
yeah, it
and
makes me surprised that you like it.
I know it's a little bit of a struggle because I love the flavor of it. It is a little too thick. So what I try to do, and this one that I have, I got it from Sam's, really really good, big old bottle because Sam's don't do nothing small. I poured just a little bit, and I was like, okay, I'm put some ice in it because if the ice
Kind of thins out a
melts
little
down,
bit.
it's going to cut it a little bit, make it a
Yeah,
little, thin it out.
thin it out.
This is like some super duper eggnog because I promise you, I added a scoop of ice and it turned it into ice cream. It's just now
Are you
starting.
serious?
I'm so serious. I put the scoop in there. I'm like, I'm shaking the cup around and it was like getting thicker. I'm like, oh, no, 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 wait. Oh, what is happening? But it's just now starting to thin out. So it's getting to where I can enjoy it. And it really is good. It's that cinnamon
It's all
flavor.
all those
Hmm.
spices in it. And
And did I mention
that's
mine is spiked? So that makes
so
it
so
top
you
tier.
even better. Yep.
Yes.
Sets it to another level.
A whole nother level.
But you like milkshakes though, right? And
Yeah,
those are thick. I know it's
yep,
different though. I know it's
yep.
different.
It just depends on what the item is. You know what I mean? Like milkshakes, in my mind and how my mind operates, milkshakes are supposed to be thick. You know what I mean? Because it's frozen milk. But with eggnog, it's just a dairy product that's thick. You know what I mean? So it's fighting that struggle of thinking like it's not bad milk. It's not like it's spoiled or something. It's just thick like that because it's what it is. It is what it is.
Like buttermilk
Yep.
or whole milk. It's like kind of thick like that.
Yeah. 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 So it's just a mental struggle.
Well,
But I'm
enjoy
still gonna
for
drink it.
me.
I
Yes, enjoy.
shall.
I'm going to get me some. I've got to get it because I promise you, January 1, you
Oh,
cannot find it
stop
anywhere.
production.
It is
Stop
over.
production.
If you have not gotten you some eggnog by December 27th, you have missed out on the season because you're not going to be able to find it
I'm cracking up
at
because
all.
it's so true.
It's the truth.
It's like they take it out of all stores. They're like, nope, bring it back. Bring it back. They're
I
done.
know they got some left over. I know people haven't bought every single carton, but I can go to store after store after store. I'm like, are you kidding me? All the eggnog is gone.
Yep.
Now, I deal with some
Bloop
digestive
bloops.
issues.
Some bloop bloops. Bloop
So
bloop.
I probably should stay away from the full lactose version of anything dairy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's debatable. I probably should. I don't, but I probably should. They have some
Hello. Did I lose you? What is going on with our connection?
Did you lose me?
I did. It turned robotic. But you were saying that they had some lactose.
Some lactate version of eggnog. So I said, let me go
Mm-mm.
ahead and just buy
Mm-mm.
it. Let me just go ahead and try it out. And it flavor wise was not bad,
Mm-mm.
but it's so funny that you mentioned thin. Maybe that's what you should try if you want thin eggnog, because it was
No.
thin. It was just not, I was missing the lusciousness and the thickness of the of what I
Thicker than a
want
snicker.
when I want my eggnog. And then they had some like soy nog. And I'm like,
Nah.
I can't. I'm just gonna have to suffer through it. I'm gonna go get the full fat, full lactose eggnog.
Dairy,
I'm
full,
doing
yeah.
it all, and I'm just gonna have to be sick for the next couple of weeks.
Rubbing your
It
tummy.
happens. I mean, it's once a year. It's one time of the year. Let me just
Right.
go ahead and do it and enjoy it
Suffer the
and suffer the
consequences.
consequences.
But before we move forward, because now remember last time we talked, I was about to bring something up, but I was like, ain't gonna do it. Gonna do it next time. So this is that time. But before I get into what I was going to get into the last time, I wanted to take time real quick to thank all of
Our new
people
friends.
that our new friends who have made us their new friends by listening to us
Our,
get through whatever this is, what all this fun and all the antics, all of our shenanigans and everything like that. We definitely want to take time to say thank you. Keep listening, keep laughing, but go ahead and share it too. Tell your other friends, because I know we're not your only friends. So tell your other friends to listen. Tell them to
yeah.
check us out. Subscribe. Do make it do what it do, baby. And
No,
that's my spiel for that part for me.
no, you're absolutely right. It's so weird because, like I said, when we started this, or like you said, when we started this, it was really just us doing our conversation. So I was a little bit, we both were a little bit like, yeah, it doesn't matter. If it takes off, it takes off. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's what we do. Anyway, we're just going to do what we do.
Right.
Um, and you don't always know if anybody's going to find it amusing or like they want to listen to it. And so it's kind of surprising sometimes when you'll say, or you got feedback, or if I got feedback, it kind of is
Right.
like, really? Like, you know what I mean? So it is. So it's a kind of a weird thing, but yes, thank you to everybody who happens to listener is listening in, who is talking back to us, even though we can't
Right.
hear you. You're talking back to us during the
Because we're doing the
conversation
same
because
thing.
we do the same thing. So it's a pleasant surprise, but thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Right. And keep the feedback coming. Let us know what you want to hear us discuss, because we're gonna discuss everything from the rooter to the tutor.
Oh
So
my.
let us know.
Oh.
I'm country. I'm country. No, okay, so the last time we talked, I was going to bring up about how I don't know what it is. I feel like I've had a couple instances of this, but you are always running into celebrities. And not A-listers, but not to take anything away from anybody,
No, well,
but
yeah.
you
I
keep
mean,
you keep
just a
running into
few.
TV
No, go ahead.
TV people. You remember that one time we were in the airport? And what was your favorite show? One of your favorite shows.
Excuse me. Survivor. I love me some
So,
Survivor, so I know
right.
exactly. Um,
And who we run into? The
Rupert from Survivor. He's like a
Yes,
Survivor legend.
right. And out of all places, we trotting in the airport, and next thing you know, I hear you go, "Oh my god, look who it is!" Of course, I didn't know who this lumberjack, big beard was. But for those who follow those competitive reality shows like Survivor and Amazing Race and things like, he's a big deal.
He was,
And you've
especially back
seen him.
then. More like, as I feel like as more time goes on, and
Oh,
then you
of
have new people,
course.
people start to forget. But at the time, he had been on multiple seasons, and he was one of the fan favorites. And yeah, so for me, it was like, oh my goodness, yes, yeah.
And so, like I said, I've had my couple instances too. But then here recently, who'd you see?
So I don't know how many people know of this show and who watch
Right.
this show, but we both happen to watch 90 Day Fiance.
Right.
I feel like I'm highly entertained by this show, but there is a lady on there by the name of Daniela, and
Mm-hmm.
she's on the most current season. That's the one that's actually airing right now. Matter of fact, I think they just had the reunion episode this past week, which I haven't
Right.
gotten all the way through.
Oof. Rough.
And I happen to be in my local Home Sense, which Home Sense is like, the at home store.
Or at home. Home Goods?
No,
Or is that the
so,
same?
well, yeah, so yes. Home Goods is like, TJ Maxx's, like furniture and home division,
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah. Yeah.
Home Sense is big though. It's big like At Home, which is another store that sells a lot of like furniture and home goods. But Home
Okay.
Sense is TJ Maxx's bigger version of Home Goods. So
Oh,
it's
wow. Okay.
bigger. It's kind
Okay.
of more like At Home. Anywho, so I'm on the phone and I'm walking And I just happened to see this lady walk in front of me. And I'm on the phone with my husband at the time. And I look at her, I said, I gotta go. I know that woman. And I and I was like, he was like, what? And he's like, what are you talking about? I walked up to her and I'm such a creep because I walk up to her as soon as I saw her, Dawn. I'm like, that is Daniela from 90 Day Fiance. She
Oh
looked
my God.
different because she did not. Her hair is shorter now. I think
Yeah.
I think she wears extensions
Yeah.
during the show, and so her hair was shorter. It wasn't as blonde. She did not have on her normal like clothes. She didn't have any makeup on. But
Because on the
Dawn,
show, she's always kind
she's
of like
always
glammed
made
up
up.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
she always looks good on the show.
Yeah.
I I don't. I saw her from behind, and I'm like, I know her. So I'm on the phone and I walk up to her. This is so weird. And my daughter is with me, and I look at her. I'm still the phone in my hand. As the way I must have been walking in such a determined way that the gentleman that was helping her at the store, he's like, "Do you need something?" Like, because I was walking up towards them, and he must have thought that I wanted him to like help me find
Help you.
something. And he's like, "Do you need something?" I said, "No." I said, but I looked at her. I said, "But I know who you are." And she was like,
Shut up, Beth.
Dawn, why? Why would I do that? Why would I be so
Wait.
cringy and walk up to somebody and say something like that? And my daughter
Wait,
to
but
me,
the phone's still in
listen,
your hand.
the phone still, I'm on the phone. I hadn't really officially hung up
And you
yet.
whispered to her with the
And
phone to your
I
ear.
said, I know who you are. Like that. I think probably
Shut
in
up,
that kind
Beth.
of like deep, creepy voice and everything. And my daughter looked at me, she said, you are so weird. And and then she looked at me and she's like, okay. And I said, oh no. And then I realized how much of a doofus I sounded like. And I'm like, not in a bad way. And then I remembered her storyline this season was not a good one. It
No,
it
no.
ended poorly for her. So then I didn't want her to I wasn't trying to like make her feel any kind of way, or I didn't want to bring up
Right,
anything bad, but I was excited to see her. Not like
right.
in a,
But just like, hey, you made it, buddy.
yeah, not like you're, yeah, not like you got dogged out on national television. Not
Right.
like that. But I felt so, and then I'm like, and then I hung. I was like, I gotta go. I was like, I gotta call Dawn, and so I gotta tell her who I saw. And so then I walked back, and it was such a weird. She was like in the middle of walking, like
That's
I was. It was just so
hilarious.
weird. And my daughter, she's like, "You are." She's like, "Why would you do? Like, why would you?" I was like, "I don't know why I did it that way. I don't know." And so
Listen.
then I was like, I had to call you. And I'm like, "Nope." You know me, I don't know. I was like, I'm not gonna call Dawn. I said I'm gonna text Dawn and like surprise her. Like, so I think I tried to call you, you didn't answer. So I hung up
Right.
and I just texted like Dawn, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Cause I knew it would make you kind of
Five
like
exclamation points to now
cause
I'm
then
panicking.
I knew it would make you like, what? And I'd be like, you'll never guess who I saw. But listen, none of it went the way that it was supposed to go. Like the way in my head, the way it did not
Sure it
come
did,
out
because
that way.
let's rewind back. So while you're sending a text talking about Dawn, exclamation point times five, I automatically call you because, like I said, I go into panic mode. After a certain number of punctuation marks, I'm like, oh, shoot, let me see what's going on. I call you, and you didn't even pick up. I think you sent me directly a voicemail, and then you text me talking about some wait for the messages. Who does that? So now I'm like, messages, messages. I've checked every social media platform because I wasn't getting a text message. So I'm like, well, did she send me something on Facebook? Did she send me something on Instagram? I don't even know what took you so long. I tried to call you back again, and you're like, wait for it, and hung up. The text, and then that's when I seen the photo. And Beth, how you recognize this lady is beyond. I don't have the bandwidth to
Oh Lord.
understand how you seen from behind. She was incognito, Beth. She was in the witness protection program, and you didn't scope this lady out. Because when I seen a picture, I'm like, I see you standing next
Who
to
is that?
someone, and I'm like, okay, you're taking pictures with random people. I'm like, who is? And you're like, look closer.
As I
I
said,
had
look hard.
I had the picture on the cornea of my eyeball, and I'm looking like, I don't know. And then when you said who it was, I'm like, then I could see it. But like you said, up. So
No.
it was just, she was in her I'm going out, I gotta make a run, Aaron kind of mode.
And that's exactly what happened. So I ended up like, I was like, okay, I need to go like and apologize because now I feel weird that I approached her the way that I did. And so my daughter's like, Mom, just leave it alone. I'm like, no, I have to go. I have to apologize.
I need to talk to her.
I have to apologize. So I'm trying to like look for her, but not like scare her because I had already just like walked up on her.
Too late.
And she is like, so she's over where the rugs are displayed. And they'll have those rugs all like they have them hung up like from floor to ceiling. They're really tall and she's walking.
Yeah.
And
you didn't peek through the tall rugs,
no,
did you?
No.
Okay.
I saw her though, and she saw me, and she's probably like, "This fool is like," and I don't know. So I walked up, kind of, sort of. I was like, if I could see that she wasn't going to be receptive,
or if
to my
she took
walk
off running,
up, yes, I was going to like bring it back a little bit. But as I was walking, she's walking. I said, hi. I said, I'm so sorry. She goes, oh, no. She said, it's okay. She said, I'm just like, she goes, I look horrible. She's like, I'm in the middle of a remodel. And
okay.
I'm like, oh my gosh, you're my neighbor? Like you live here? And so I didn't say that out loud.
You should have told her about the podcast.
Well, I take it back. I did say that out loud. I said, do you live here? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, how long have you been here? And I'm like, then that Lord. Question she avoided because I'm like, okay, now I'm being creepy again. And I said, I'm so sorry. I said, no. I said, I didn't mean to intrude or, be weird. I said, but I'm such a fan of yours. And I said, when I recognized you, it made me excited. I said, because I have a girlfriend. We both watched 90 Day Fiance and you're one of our favorites of this season. And I said, so I just was so excited to see you. I said, can I please take a picture with you? I said, I want to send it to her. She'll be so excited. Yeah. And so she's like, I look horrible. I said, she's like, I'm in the middle of remodeling. I have no makeup on. I said, look at me. I said, it's whatever. No big deal. And so, I hate pictures more than anybody.
Right.
And so,
right.
She let me take a picture. She's really petite and tall. I am a Neanderthal. Amazon. So
an Amazonian. An Amazonian, you are. Because then to know the story and to see the picture and to see how petite she is, I'm like, all she's seeing was a 6 foot. She comes up to my
bosom. She comes to my bosom.
She sees this Amazonian lady hovering over with a telephone talking about I know who you are.
Yeah, that's exactly. I can only imagine how. And it's probably what she hates the most. You know what I mean? Especially when you've been on the show, and these reality shows, they edit you a certain way. But she didn't, to me, get a bad edit. I don't think. She was. But her situation was just not a good situation with her husband.
Sorry, my bad.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick for a quick background for those who don't know. 90 Day Fiance, the premise of the show is these people have fiancés that are from different parts of the country. And so they have to apply for what they call a K-1 visa. If the visa is approved, and a lot of times those take a lot of time to even get approved. Once the visa is approved, they only have 90 days to marry if their significant other comes over to where they're at. They only have 90 days to marry, or they got to go back and the visa is expired. So a lot of these people that meet up, some have known each other for years, some haven't. So it just depends on that kind of dynamic and everything. And like you said, her story, she was she on the other way?
She's on the 90 day the other way, which is instead of the foreigner coming from another country to America on a K-1 visa, it's the opposite. You have the American that goes to the country that their loved one is at, and they're over there on some type
K-1
of visa.
Right. Right. So
she was in the Dominican Republic. Yeah, so she was in the Dominican Republic.
Right. And unfortunately with her story, and actually her and her significant other, they were married. Were they married for a year?
Yeah, they were married for a year.
And so on their story of this season, like it just went downhill. Like he just turned out to be not who she thought he was going to be.
Right.
And just treated her bad, and how the show ended. And like you said, right now they're on the reunion show. part of it, and just to know how heartbroken she was, because she
Yeah.
really, expressed like, that's not who I married. It's not who. So it's just,
It
yeah.
was it was yeah, so I didn't want to make her feel like we were putting her on blast or making fun of her or anything. So I definitely wanted to
Right.
make sure she knew that we were fans and it wasn't like that. And there are so many people out there who are, there's no limit to the number of trolls that are out there who are, are trying to make
Right.
you feel bad. So I didn't want to make her feel
Right.
like
Just like,
that
hey, I
by any means.
recognize you.
But my delivery, Dawn, was
The
just
delivery, Beth.
my delivery was just not
I know who you are.
was not good. So
Listen, that
anyway, she
chick was
let me take
probably,
a picture
but
and
she did. She
she
did.
did let me take a picture and I told her thank you so much. And I said, you're so pretty. Even though I know she wasn't in her best, but I wanted her to feel
Right.
good about herself. And
And she really is.
she's a pretty lady. She's a
And
very
when
pretty
I
lady.
say I
So
didn't recognize her, it wasn't because, well, like I said, she wasn't glammed up, but she looks just fine
yeah, she's
without makeup. Like,
fine.
you know what I mean?
She's
Like, she was
fine.
totally
Perfectly
fine.
fine.
Yeah. But which makes me think, now that you said that, because when you said that, she expressed like, oh, I don't have any makeup on. I'm looking. So there's this whole thing with Pamela Lee Anderson. Now, Pamela Lee Anderson was an icon, especially back early 90s
Yeah.
era.
Like
And
Baywatch and
right, and always
yeah.
done up and hair big makeup and stuff. And now, she's gotten older, and like her whole thing now is makeup free. So like she's been getting a lot of commendation and a lot of, I don't know the word I'm looking for, oh, Pamela Lee Anderson taking a stand, not wearing makeup. And there's been other artists, I know, like Alicia Keys, like she's makeup free and everything. That's her platform of just being all natural and things like that. So currently Pamela Lee Anderson is on that same thing, right? But
Do you know how old she is by
how old is
chance?
she?
No,
Oh
no, no, no,
no.
no. I'm asking by chance. Do you happen to know?
uh
I would think she's in her 50s, maybe.
I think so. Maybe late 50s.
Okay.
I don't know. I would think she's in, yeah. I would guesstimate that. I should have Googled that. But my whole thing is now, and not by any means, and it's, well, and especially from the world that they come from, the Hollywood world.
Right.
You got to look a certain way. You got to, and more so now, it's those ideas are trying to change. But back where she came from, she had to be the poster girl. She, they put her in that spotlight. She was a symbol of the ultimate beauty. Always eyebrows, lashes, da da da. But my thing is, not that she has to have it, not by anybody's view, but sometimes it's not about just being makeup free. Sometimes you just look rough, and to me, Pamela Lee is looking rough. I'm like,
Uh,
I'm all for a natural look. I'm not saying you got to have, as my daddy would call it, rouge all on your cheeks or anything like that. But I just feel like there's a difference, and I'm just like, oh, oof, Pam, 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 girl, just I don't know what it is. She just looks a little rough to me. I mean, power to, girls rule,
a
boys
hundred
drool, but
percent, because I think a lot in her earlier career, her identity in Hollywood was 100% tied to her looks. I
yes,
mean, that's what made her. She was, to me, I think she's a very pretty lady, especially back in those days. I thought that she was very
right,
pretty. She had really big, pretty smiling teeth, pretty blue eyes. And I say this, I was never like a big fan of hers or anything in particular, but she had a documentary on Netflix.
uh
I
huh,
think it was on Hulu, maybe a year or so ago, and I watched it. And I really liked her. I really did.
really,
I did, because I feel like, I don't know, Hollywood is crazy, but I liked
woof,
who really who she was, how she it talked about how she started and how um she got to where she was, and the whole
yeah,
her and Tommy Lee scandal and all that, just so much of it. And I know that these documentaries and stuff, they're all kind of skewed a little bit, like, there's always 1,000 sides to the story and everything,
right,
but the way she, to me, presented herself,
Mm-hmm.
I liked her from watching that Netflix episode. Now, during the episode, she was during the Netflix, I should say, during the documentary, she definitely had makeup on.
Mm-hmm.
But you could, of course, she's aging as we all are, so you could see the
Right.
age. But I still thought that she looked fine. I thought she looked, fine.
Well,
Um, so I did not know about this whole makeup free stance until you had mentioned it before. So
right.
I went and looked at it. And what I will say is that
She
she
look
still
rough.
she still has a really pretty smile.
Most definitely.
And look, I think what it is that she suffers like from what I suffer from, which is like lack of eyebrowitis.
Is that
So
a technical What's it called, Beth?
like
What's it called?
eyebrowitis, it's Latin. You can look it up.
Oh, got you.
Um, so I feel like, or either her eyebrows are so light because she's
Yeah.
blondish that you can't really see them. So it makes her eyes look to me like kind of sunken in.
Okay.
And then she's got, as you get older, you start to get like the thin skin under your eyes, so your bags start to show a little bit more. And if she doesn't have it, like any kind of concealer or anything to kind of cover those up, I feel like it made her eyes look like that's what it was. It made her like her eyes and her eyebrow area kind of like look sunken in yet pop at the same time.
Beth.
Does that make sense? Huh?
I don't know if it, but it wasn't just the eyes, Beth. It was her whole face. It was just
I
the
know. I
whole.
don't think
It
there's
was just
nothing
looking
wrong with
rough.
wearing makeup.
I don't think there's
I
nothing
don't
wrong with
think because
wearing makeup or nothing wrong with
or
not
not
wearing
wearing.
makeup. But
I personally feel like the way I look in the morning isn't always a good look.
right.
So
I'm not saying right to you. I'm just saying like
no,
the idea that
the
I
way I
feel
look
that
up in the morning whenever who wakes up first in the morning and it's a good look.
I think Beyonce because she says she woke up like that, but
Does
I
she
don't.
really though? That's
No.
a whole other story, Dawn. Do we really need to get talking about Beyonce? Do you really want to go that right on this
Listen, not if I don't
podcast?
want nobody rolling up on me from the beehive talking about something. I know who you are.
um um
But no, yeah, that's it. I feel for
I know
a lot of
I think so.
ladies.
I
That's the
feel
general consensus.
right.
Yeah.
So my thing is, to me, that's what makeup does. It kind of just like you don't have to, but it uh,
Right.
that's not my best look of the day in the morning.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
like
Right.
I want to look like when you see me, I don't want it to look like I just rolled out of bed. And that's how I feel. I want to present
That
my best foot forward.
that's
And
all I'm saying.
I don't have to have a full face of makeup on,
Not at
but I don't
all.
want to
Nope.
look like I just got beat with the ugly stick is first thing in the morning.
No, and I 100% agree because I don't wear makeup all the time. Like I might throw on some. My go to is eyeliner, mascara, and try to like comb my eyebrows a little bit. So like I said, I'm not even into like a full face. If you do it, that's fine. But I'm saying like it's not me, so I can't judge someone who would do it or doesn't do it. I'm just saying, like I said, Pamela was looking rough. Pamela looked like she been through some stuff. Like
She
after the
has been through some
documentary,
stuff.
but maybe I got to see the documentary because I was like, "Who Pamela? Pamela." It was like Pamela.
Well, and it's
It was
so
rough.
surprising because there's a level of vanity that comes with being in Hollywood.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so when that's what you've done and who you've been for so long, even when you're not in Hollywood, there's a level of vanity with myself that makes me get up in the morning and put my makeup on before I go out of the house. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
There's a level of that. So knowing the industry that she was in, to let that go and to feel free enough to be able to
Shine bright like a diamond.
let it right, that I don't know that I
Yeah.
could do that.
I just she did it. She done it. She does it. And this, like I said,
I only
high
saw one
five.
picture. I only saw one picture of her, so I don't know of her in this. But the thing that was so surprising about it, I think she was at like some kind of awards, something or
Yeah.
other.
No,
So
yeah.
she had
Oh,
like this. I think she had like a gown on or some kind of a, a more of a formal type
right.
dress. So it just looked unfinished to
Thank you.
have
Because
like
when you,
your
yeah,
hair done, this really flattering pretty dress on, and then your face to kind of be like it
fall
didn't
flat.
match it. It didn't match
Yes.
it. Like the
Yeah.
face matched a sweats, pajamas, hair in a bun look. You know what I
Right.
mean? It would be
Right.
like wearing a full face of makeup in your pajamas. That's like the correlation. This was like no makeup in this fancy dress. It just didn't
Yes.
fit. I
When you
get you.
start from the feet and work your way
And then
up, and
just
then it's like
stop.
a record scratch,
Right. That's
and you see the
that's
face.
why it was like so like what?
Whoa,
Okay.
well, bam, bam. Hold on now. Like she ran out of money during her session, and like the
Uh,
makeup people was like, until you give me my money, you gonna
this
go
is
out
where you
like this.
stop. This is where we stop. Oh,
But like you said,
oh,
and it's just a standard in Hollywood, and very not very few, but from time to time, you'll always have these certain ones that speak out about the craziness in Hollywood and just all the craziness that goes on and stuff, and trying to be apart from that. So that the latest one now is Angelina Jolie. Now she's talking about, like, being that her divorce with Brad Pitt, which, Lord have mercy, how long did that take? I thought they'd been divorced.
oh man, I
But
don't
she
know.
was saying that now it's fine. Now that it's finalized, she wants to get away from Hollywood. Like, she wants to leave, like up and leave, not just like retire from acting, but she wants no parts of it. And it's so um it's not really crazy, because, like I said, from time to time, at different periods of time, different ones will come out again speaking about, like, just how crazy it is, all the um
Craziness.
influence and things
Hmm.
that go on within this
Within this, yeah,
community, I would say. Like, this
yeah,
Hollywood community.
yeah, for sure.
It's just like, so, like I said, now the most latest one is Miss Jolie trying to
But eh, but she's kind of been out of the spotlight for a minute, right? I mean, has she done anything
spotlight. Yes, yeah, but I guess she's been hanging
recent?
around. Listen, she,
Oh,
she must have been. She was out
mm.
of the spotlight, but your girl was still hanging around Tinseltown. So now
So
it's
now
like,
she's leaving.
yeah. But like I said, she said it was
Shh.
because it was finalized. How long did it take to finalize the divorce? I thought they were
I
done
think.
years ago.
Well, I think when you, I don't know. I don't. They had so many issues going back and forth between her and him, and I think when you got so much money and so many
Assets and
ventures,
stuff
yes,
involved.
and
Yeah.
shared um assets and ventures and things. Because don't you remember, like they had some vineyard somewhere in Italy. I could be making this up again.
Lord,
And I think
listen, stop saying facts, and we gonna get sued. Listen, because now
I
the government
think
gonna
they
try to
had
find this
alleged. Okay,
vineyard.
don't you have to say like allegedly?
There you
Don't you
go.
have to? Okay, they allegedly maybe had some kind of like vineyard or somewhere. I want to say in Italy or somewhere overseas, and they were trying to decide who was going to have what. That's what I'm talking
Oh,
about. You know what I mean? There's so much more that
yeah.
goes into it than just us normal broke people. You know
And
what I
then,
mean? You know what I'm
hey, so
saying?
you gonna listen? You gonna take the ketchup or the mustard?
Right,
Like,
right, right.
which one you want? And didn't they? Which would make sense. And but their kids are older now, so I don't think that would be an issue as far as custody, right?
No,
Like,
because
all them
remember,
babies that they.
one of the oldest kids, the first one, not their natural kids, not the kids that her and him had together, but all the ones that they adopted. The oldest one, I believe, Pax, is his. Listen, I don't know how I even know that, where I pulled that from. I think I just heard about it. I think they paint out Brad Pitt to be not a good dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they paint him out. I know everybody loves Brad Pitt, but the kids paint him out to be like they don't want a relationship with him. And even the daughter, the Zahara daughter, the one that they adopted, the girl from Ethiopia.
Yeah.
I think she is either just graduating college or graduating something, and she was like taking the name Pitt, removing it. She was just going to be Zahara, I believe Jolie. She was dropping Pitt.
Oh, wow.
Allegedly, because I could have my stories all mixed up. So I'm going to say allegedly.
There you go. Allegedly.
But yeah, she didn't want to carry his name.
Mm.
So.
And would it be surprising? Usually it's the ones that, not usually, but it's sad that the ones that we only know through screen and stuff, that you develop this, relationship with it, just as far as like, movies and who you think they are. And then you hear stories like that. It's like, man, come on now. And like because Brad is fine. Brad, and he ages fine like wine.
He sure does. He sure
you know what
does.
I mean? Like, it's just he's definitely the opposite Benjamin Button. Like, he's getting older and just
but it's
still
okay.
looking fine.
It's okay.
Just,
okay.
Hi, Brad. I love my husband. No, but man, yeah, Brad, yeah, that's
I mean, yeah. It's crazy.
Like you said, allegedly. So I'm not gonna get any hard feelings.
Allegedly,
against him
he's growing older. Allegedly, he is aging like fine wine. Allegedly,
no, those are facts. We don't have to. No. That's straight facts. We ain't got to say allegedly with that. The man growing old like fine wine.
I'm just trying to cover.
I know. I'm just saying. Let me. Listen. I digress. But and then now I'm thinking about it. So Angelina's not in the spotlight, right? So you don't really hear too much until it comes forth. But then I was thinking just now when you said that, like, what's the deal with like who is it? Is it Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
mm-hmm.
why you say that? Why is it now? This girl done dated like 18 dudes, right? So how come every time it's a new dude, it's like a oh, they're the new it couple? Like, she been the it couple 18 times. Like, stop.
So I'm going to preface this with a disclaimer that you prefaced last week's conversation with in regards to BTS when it comes to a fan base. Okay. Because the Swifties, girl.
Right. You right.
Oof. These are diehards. I mean, diehards.
Right. So what we got? The BTS army, the Beehives, and the Swifties.
But the BTS army, I'm gonna have to say, is a little bit more accepting. Anywho,
okay. Now you just drew a line in the sand. That's what you was trying to avoid, and you just done did it.
I did, didn't I?
You did, Beth. But proceed.
Okay, what I'm gonna say is that I don't know the. I mean, I guess I get the fascination with Taylor Swift. I am not a huge Taylor Swift fan, which doesn't mean that I'm a hater. You know what I mean? Like, lots of times people will, just because you're not all in for something doesn't mean that you hate it. It just means that you're not. I like some of her songs, but I would think if you were to ask her fans, they think that she is the best songwriter, the best singer. She can do no wrong.
Right.
And they paint her with that brush. I'm not that kind of a fan. I might say that, my favorite singer, there might be some songs of my favorite singer that I don't care for, that aren't my favorite song. You know what I mean? I feel like I can say that they're fallible, but I feel like a lot of Swifties or other really, really diehard fans of different people, they feel like they cannot, like, nothing that person does is wrong. And so my problem with this is that I feel like she's human, but because her fans elevate her to such this idol level, that when she does something that is, and inevitably she will, because she's human and she's fallible, when she does something that isn't like going to be
In the best
100%
light.
in the best light,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to know what to do. So like, so now they're all loving her. Now all these new fans of Travis Kelce, who I'll say, I like Travis Kelce,
Listen,
but
I
I
don't
liked
know
him
nothing
before.
about sports. I
I
don't know if
liked
this
him
dude.
before.
I don't know if he's a pitcher, if he's a
Oh,
forward on a
okay.
basketball team,
Yep,
but
yep,
the boy
yep.
fine. The boy
And
fine.
he got a little bit of swagger about him.
It's a little
A
bit,
little bit
a
of swagger about
little
how
bit.
you see him dance a little bit. I mean,
Right.
he's got a little bit of swagger about him. So I like
Yes.
him. I'm surprised that he's with Taylor Swift. I was surprised by that coupling.
Yes.
Wasn't
Well, like I said,
expecting
now
that.
I don't know him and his background, but after, once they made the news, right? And then of course, naturally, being that he's with Taylor Swift, it came up his previous relationship. Now, with his previous relationship, he was with a lady of color, which then piqued my interest in Travis Kelce because I'm like, oh, you down with the brown. Like
Right.
anyone who doesn't have a problem with dating outside, you could now you my peoples. Because, unfortunately, there's still areas of racism in different aspects of life. It's just is what it is. So
Right.
anytime, like I said, anytime someone can appreciate another race, another color, I'm like, oh, daps. So when I seen, so it came up, and his previous girlfriend before Taylor was very pretty,
Yeah.
and she was a a
And the
little
one before
chocolate piece
that.
of candy,
And the
and
one
I was
before
like,
that.
yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Travis be trying to come to the cookout. Okay, that's all right with me. I like that. So then that's my extent of knowledge of Travis Kelce. Like I said, now I know he plays football and all that stuff, but I'm like, okay, Mr. Kelsey. And so to see that, but I like Taylor. Now I wouldn't call myself a fan, but she is very what's the word, like, for the people, you know what I mean? Like, no, I like her in that sense that she comes across as just being a sweet
She seems
girl.
fine. She's fine.
She seems like a sweet girl.
She's
Now
fine. I think
it's
what
the other one that I think is a little fake, and I ain't gonna say nothing because, like I said, I don't want my tires slashed. The other one who is a big entertainer, to
who's
me, I don't
that?
see. I'm
You
not saying her name, girl. I ain't
who's
getting
I don't
killed.
know what you're talking about.
Beth, who's a really big, and we just talked about their fan base.
Oh. Mhm.
So,
Oh yeah, but see, that's kind of how I feel about Taylor as well, and maybe that's the problem.
oh,
That's the issue that I
okay,
have with her fan base, is that she's fine. She's obviously a great songwriter.
all I heard was. So, do you not think that she's sincere?
I used to not think that she was sincere, and so maybe
Oh,
I
okay,
am still allowing 2023 Taylor to be painted with the paintbrush from 2016 Taylor. You know what I mean?
okay,
Like back in the
gotcha.
day when she used to win award after award after award after award, and she'd get up on the award show and talk about how surprised she was, and like, oh my goodness, are you serious? Oh my, I, that was cute the first time, second time, and I'll give it to you the third time. It's your 15th award now. You are not surprised. You know what a
Right,
big deal you are. I'm not
right.
saying don't be humble. I'm not saying don't, say, thank you and I be appreciative,
But
but
be
I don't
real.
like that's the part for me. Like, don't be that. And so that
Okay.
from that point forward, I was like, okay, this chick is like, I didn't care for that part. I gotta be really, really careful too with this, because I know that people love Taylor Swift, but it doesn't mean I hate her just
Right,
because I didn't like that aspect. So I
right,
didn't
right.
like, to me, that part of it, and how she just seemed, so I felt like, and so then her fans were like, oh my gosh, no, she's this and she's that. And I'm like, she's a woman, and she's imperfect, and she's going to, I didn't like how she wrote songs about every other boyfriend. To me, lots of times she was like, her songwriting was good. I think that she's
Right.
gotten better over the years, but at the same time, I felt like she's now like in her 30s, and I guess I felt like her songwriting was still like she was writing songs like she was 15 or 16. You know what I mean? That's to me how the lyrics come off, or that's
Well,
how
listen,
she.
because it was the same subject every time. She was in love, and the next thing you know, she was heartbroken, and he was no good, and da 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 da, and
Which I know
empowerment.
is what makes love songs, or which is what makes a lot of music. You write about what you've been through. But to me, hers
Right.
just seemed a little bit, oh my, a little bit immature. To
Yeah.
me, it did.
Yeah.
And
I can get that.
and so I feel like, oh, Beth, no, don't say it. So I feel like her her fan base sometimes, I feel like they found Taylor when they were 15, and now they're
Okay.
also 35, but it's still like they're stuck at
15 Taylor.
yes.
They're
And
they're
so are
reminiscing. They're
they. Yeah.
holding on to
Yeah,
the
that's what it is. And
memory.
maybe that's what it is. And so
Yeah.
it kind of like that kind of just all of it kind of just but she's got some jams. She's got a
Oh,
some
most
she
definitely.
definitely has some jams. So I'm not taking anything away from her. But
Right.
you
Let's
know,
clear that up right
yes,
now.
not at all. Because even with me throwing back to BTS,
Oh
okay, I'm not
Lord.
going to stay on this. Like these guys a lot, but I
Don't we
can
all?
say that wasn't my favorite song, or I didn't like that song. And if I say that to somebody else who is considered Army, part of their fan base, you would have thought that I would like, but I'm like a realistic. I love those
Yeah.
guys. However,
Yeah.
I don't have to like every single song. Every single song doesn't have to be my favorite. It's
Right.
okay,
Listen,
you
it's
know?
so funny because what did I can't remember what I said to your young one about BTS, and she was like, Dawn, don't you dare. I said,
Yeah,
listen, hold
that's
on now.
exactly right.
Wait, I could have sworn she was about to reach in her back pocket for a switchblade that I did not know that she carried. All I said was, I think it was something like that they do look alike or something. She said, Dawn, take it back. I was like, yo, hold on now.
And that's how a lot of
And she
fans are
threatened
in
me. She's like,
general.
I don't, she's like, all it takes is one word, one Twitter,
That's
and you're
exactly what
done.
she said.
Yes, this
She
heifer to
threatened
put a
you with
bounty
the
on
X.
my head.
She threatened you with the X.
She threatened me with like, and that's another thing, cancel culture. Like you gotta be careful what you say because you can get canceled. But this heifer, she already got friends in high places or something because she sure did. She's like, all it takes, Dawn, is one word, one Twitter, one tweet, and it's over. I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. That's one thing I will not do. I won't lie. She scared me. So, like I said, I will not say nothing
You
against
can't, and that's why, like I said, I didn't said all this stuff about
Taylor openly.
Miss Swift, and
Look,
but she's probably a lovely lady. She's probably a lovely.
that sounds like somebody that's about to get jumped. No, I'm sure she's lovely. Great personality. She looks like a sweet girl. That's
She,
what
I'm
I'm saying.
sure she is. She's nice and tall, and
Stop, Beth.
has a
Just
great red lip.
no, doesn't she? Is that like her
Her
is
lips,
that
as I
signature?
swear, she had her lips tattooed red, because her red lipstick is always on point, and it's the perfect
Always.
shade of red. It always is popping. Always. Now I feel like I'm being like all you know trying to
No,
be
but
extra
like I
complimentary, but
like
that's the truth.
no, I'm serious because it made me think like every time when I think of her face, I think of
It's
that
that red
bright,
lip.
bold lip.
It's
Yeah. Is
yeah.
that her signature look?
I rarely see her without it. I would say it was her signature red lip, or
Right.
her look. I think that you could say something like that and people would know right away. I mean, she does a
Yeah.
red lip like nobody else does a red lip. That's for sure.
I'm about to Google what kind she because it makes her
She should
look.
honestly come out with her own lip.
Listen, the girl's already rich, ain't she? Doesn't she make more than Beyonce?
I think I just saw in the
Or she's
news the
up
other
there.
day that she has set a new record, that this is the first concert, I think, to make over $1 billion. Um,
What?
but at the same time,
Oh my
props
gosh.
to her 100%, because that is a hard thing to do, a hard job. But she's been touring for the past, you know what I mean? When you tour for like two
Right.
years, the more shows you have,
But
the
Beth, a
more you're going to
billion,
make.
But Beth, a billion.
Well, I think that your other best friend, Beyonce, I think that
Now, see, I
she.
didn't went this long without saying her name. You want to see me hurt, and I don't appreciate it.
I said that with
Allegedly,
all.
I might be speaking about Beyonce.
But I am talking about Beyonce. She had her Renaissance tour this year.
Yeah.
She, I mean, grossed a ton of money as well, but she only like toured, I think, for, I mean, so many months. You know what
Oh,
I
I get
mean?
what you're
So
saying.
what
So
I'm
the
saying is that
connection between,
eventually, if
yeah.
you tour, if you have a huge selling tour, the longer that you have, the more dates you have, of course you're going to make money. So not to take anything away from Taylor, because I don't know that I could tour for, I
Right, I
want to say her
got you.
tour has been like 2 years long. You know what I mean? It's a long tour. And
Wait,
now she's,
the same thing is the same thing?
it's the same tour.
Shut up. I did not know that.
Yes,
Shut
that's what I'm saying. So as long as,
Okay.
if you
So a billion
continue to
makes sense
tour,
now.
yeah, if you continue to
Right.
tour for that long, you're going to make $1 billion. I think if
Listen,
Beyonce
you
would have,
better.
if Beyonce, especially being the caliber of star that you are, it's not like
Right.
some little teeny tiny band that's doing, it's Taylor Swift, it's Beyonce. But if Beyonce would have kept touring as much
Oh,
as
most
Taylor,
definitely.
she would have reached that mark
Yeah, most
too.
definitely.
So
I did
I
not know
mean,
this girl
not to
went
take
on a
anything away,
2-year
like I said,
tour.
not to take anything away from Taylor, it's definitely an accomplishment, and hats off to her for sure. But I mean, I think it could have been done by someone else. She was just the one that was willing to stick it out and do it.
Well, listen, because she still got youth on her side.
She sure,
So,
that's the
and
truth.
no family, no
No fam, a
husband.
hundred percent, a hundred
So,
percent.
yeah, listen, now that I know this info, now I'm kind of perturbed because, well, yeah, like I said, you ain't tied down to anything. You don't have, you know, response. So yeah, you could hit the streets for 2 years and oh Lord, 2-year concert. Get out of here, Beth.
Listen,
That has me
I'm
floored.
googling this as we speak to make sure that I did not say
Wait, was
something
that
wrong.
allegedly?
That was
Shut up.
alleged.
Oh my gosh. Got me all hyped up on some allegements.
But I want to say that I'm accurate. I could be way off.
If you're way I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you say you way off, I'm ending. I'm not saying bye. I'm not. I'm
Okay, so
just gonna
here's the
click off.
thing. Her tour launched March 13th, 2023, and it continues through December 8th, 2024. So not quite 2 years, but what, that's like three or
A
four
year
months
and some
shy of two.
change.
That's 3 or 4 months shy of 2 years. So that's a
So
long time. That's like 20 months.
no, yeah, okay, it
So
really is.
it's a long time.
So what? Because generally, how long is a tour? Like if someone just any, not just anyone, but like a say a legit big star. Usually, how long is their tour?
I don't think they even barely do them a year. Maybe a year,
Okay.
maybe a year. So she's doubled that. You know what I mean? And like I said,
Yeah.
she's a world star, so she is going everywhere. Although
Gotcha.
I would challenge people to look up BTS's stats. But anyway,
Why?
um,
Why? What's the comparison? What they gonna be looking up?
because
Like,
in comparison to the records that they've set for, like, I think that they've set records like they've crushed some of the Beatles records.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So,
Well, high five BTS.
whatever. You're never gonna.
What? I said high five. Listen, look. I've been warned by your daughter, so I ain't saying too much of nothing. I'll tell you that right now. You ain't gonna set me up for failure. I think not.
BTS earned the Guinness World Record for the best-selling album. Well, that doesn't count in South Korea. I mean, yeah, that's only that was one record they had won,
Yeah.
but it's okay. Anyway, we're not regressing. We're moving forward. So,
Exactly.
I mean, I
Exactly.
think that she's great. I think that the Swifties have really made this whole Travis Kelce Taylor Swift thing like
I just
set
want to know,
off.
like,
I think
what's it? So is it okay? So you think it's more fueled by just her?
a hundred, her fan base, a hundred
Okay.
percent. I think so.
Because I'm
Yes.
like, well, but I mean, it might be the fan base, but it's showing up on like news and
because she's breaking records because of the fan. I mean, because she's breaking records, but the fan base is what is allowing her to break the records. They're
no,
buying.
no, but
She's
I mean her relationship with Travis though. Even I'm saying like, what's such a big deal about that it's like,
because
ooh, and such a
so I think that there is this thing when it comes to like when it comes to entertainment news and
yeah,
things like that. You know, they talk about clickbait and all that good stuff. I think that a lots of times not publishers, what do you call them? They're publicists push
yeah,
things out for clicks. So they know that they can push anything out with Taylor Swift's name on it, and her fans are going to click on it, regardless
okay,
of what the story is. You know what I mean?
I got you,
So
yeah,
it then generates buzz in that story, which then pushes things. That's what I mean. I think everything, like what I will give to her is like her business, her whole, it's a well-oiled machine because
yeah,
I don't think that that lady does anything without thinking it through and
or it
like
has a good
it's
team that does that thinking
that
for her,
is right. It is deliberate.
right?
Everything that she does is calculated and deliberate. I don't think there are hardly any mistakes when it comes to
What's put out
when
there,
something's
how
put
it
out there,
is,
right?
yeah,
So and because they know of the devoted fan base that she has, they can put anything out, and if they put Taylor Swift's name in it, they know 100% that there's going to be some kind of a click. There's going to 100%. This lady rewrote, or not, I mean, re-recorded, I should say, all of her albums. Now, I will say on this tour, I believe she was recording she's like performing the songs from every album.
oh, okay,
So that's a big thing because that's a huge thing because lots of times when you go and you see somebody on tour, they're going to perform their best hits or they're going to
mm-hmm,
perform their latest album. Sometimes you're like, man, I want them to perform such and such a song from such and such an album, but because that album is 3 or 4 or 5 years old and they've got two or more
right,
albums that are newer, they're focusing on their newer stuff. They don't go back and do some of the older things. And she was going back and she was doing everything, and she's really good to her fans. You know what I mean? So I think
yeah,
that's great. But she re-recorded all of her albums, and now her fans already have these albums from before, but they're going to
right.
go out and they're going to buy them again. And if she puts out an album that has an actual like album, like an actual hard, like a hard, like a not electronic, you know what I mean, not anything digital, but a hard album, and it has a different album cover art, and she makes 4 album cover arts for that album, people are going to buy every single album to get the different album cover.
It's
That's
like
how
Jordans.
dedicated. That's what I'm
It's
saying.
because
Yeah.
Jordans are the same shoe, but each time they're launched, they can might look a little different, but those
Well,
sneakerheads
and
are
at
going to be
least
on it.
and at least with Jordan, not that sneakerheads wear their shoes, but at least with Jordan, you can wear them and they can match your different outfits. You're gonna buy this album, all the songs are the same. You're not wearing the album cover out. You know what I mean?
Right.
It ain't doing you no good to have a different, because she in this album has a red lip and both of her eyes are open, and in the next album cover she's winking with her left eye, and then the next album cover she's winking with her right eye. They want to get all, and then the next album cover her eyes are closed. You know what I mean? They are going to buy all 4 albums just to get open eye Taylor, left wink Taylor, right wink Taylor, close eye Taylor. That's what they're
Beth,
going to do. Yes.
Beth,
Mm-hmm.
why are you trying to get shanked? I just want to know why. Like, just
I
why
didn't
you
say
set
that was a
yourself up
bad
right now?
thing. I didn't say it was a bad thing.
No,
I
no,
just said
I'm
that's
saying
what
she's
her
a sweet girl. I'm just saying,
that's
like,
just saying that's what her fans are going to do for her. So to me there's no and no wonder she loves her fans as much as she does, because they have gotten her to the level that she's at right now. 100%.
yeah,
You better shout out and thanks and do all for your fans, because they're going to push you. They are ride or die.
right,
Mm-hmm.
man, and her
Should
workers too.
I feel like we should trash this episode and go back and talk about something else.
Why? No, this one good. They gonna get the
We've said
good, the
too
bad,
much.
and the
We've
ugly.
said too much.
Listen, we living on the edge.
I heard somebody describe this way a fan is how this is how stars see fan and why they love fans so much and why they say I love my fans, I love my fans. They say fan stands for financial accounting number. When they look at their fans, all they see is dollar signs.
Mm.
That's what those fans represent to them.
Beth, why
They're
are you coming in here as the crusher of dreams? I am not understanding. Is this another Eeyore episode? Because I felt like you trying to put some knowledge out there, and ain't nobody trying to hear that. Beth, they just want to love the girl, Beth. Now you didn't took it to a whole.
oh,
We gonna wrap this up.
I didn't mean to do that. I was
I
just
don't know what
saying
happened. I don't know what happened, Beth.
we might have to
If
trash this episode and
we
start
were
over. We
sunshine.
might have to trash
We,
this episode and start over.
no, we were sunshine and sparkles, and I was just trying to figure out about Travis and Taylor, and you done broke this girl down inch by inch, and then just told her friends she don't love you.
That's
She don't
not what
love
I
you.
said. What I said is
That's
I
what
heard
you said.
somebody describe it that way and not about Taylor Swift's fans, about fans in general.
But so she got fans in
Can we do
general,
this
Beth.
over? Can we do this over?
No, we keeping it. Listen, this is the perfect reason why our new friends should like, laugh, subscribe,
No,
and
don't
share with
share
their
this
friends.
episode. Don't share this episode.
No, share the podcast. Share all of it. We for the streets. No, we're not. No, we're not. Please don't hate us. It's all fun. We love it. We love laughing. We're gonna look back on
These are
this.
just opines. That's it.
Then what? I don't
Opinions.
agree to that. What's that?
They're just opinions. We're just opining.
Uh, And on that note, this is why I ain't saying.
But I'm saying.
We're gonna catch y'all later, and hopefully we
Oh,
still around to do
Dawn.
another episode. We out. Bye.
Bye. That one went over. Wow.